I just got back from a weekend brothers retreat in southern Utah, and it was very unconventional. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So, you might have heard of the 10,000 hour rule, which was popularized by Malcolm Gladwell, and basically says that you need to spend 10,000 hours on something to become world class at it. And what this misses is that's if you want to become world class, the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. But I watched this TED Talk a couple of years ago, and it's been viewed, as you can see, 41 million times. This has really resonated with people. And it's called The First 20 Hours. And basically what it says is that in the first 20 hours of learning any new skill, you can get 80% of the learning done. Just in 20 hours. You don't need 10,000 hours to learn something. You can spend 20 hours, which is one weekend, and you can basically learn a new skill, at least the vast majority of it. And so this hit me and resonated profoundly. And so I decided for my younger brother's birthday that I would take him to an Airbnb. I would pay for it. And he was trying to decide on a major in college. And so I encouraged him to choose a skill that would be for a potential major. And he did. So I'll just show you what happened. This is my brother and I. We went. You could see it was winter. We climbed a mountain in the snow, which was a ton of fun. I had a massive beard at the time. This was our Airbnb. We worked from this table the entire time. And we got 20 hours of work in. And my younger brother spent those 20 hours working on a coding project because he was in some coding classes and got way ahead of his class and ended up getting an A in the class and doing very well. It was just an amazing experience. And for me, I made a ton of progress with the project I was working on. Very, very valuable. And so I decided to do it a second year, and this is becoming an annual brothers trip tradition. I have two brothers, and so the first one wasn't around for this one. But for the 2025 trip, which we just completed, we went down to southern Utah, and this is where we worked from, this table. And we also climbed another mountain. That seems like it's becoming part of the tradition. And it was a pretty amazing experience where I got a lot done with my business, and both of my brothers made some serious progress. So let me tell you a little bit about that. First things first, one brother, this one right here with the crazy face, he decided to start a business. And he's talked about potentially starting a business for a year and a half, 2 years, whatever it may be, and just hasn't gotten around to actually starting it. I understand it's very difficult to take that leap. Full-time student in school, and so questioning whether he has the time. But it just took getting away for this weekend and deciding on an idea that made sense. And so in his case, he's very interested in experiential Airbnbs and these kind of experiential stays that are really unique and interesting, but he doesn't have the capital to get into that game. And so he's going as close to that as he can with an Airbnb rental management business. And he was able to start the business, choose a name, have conversations with several people in the space. And a day after, he actually already has landed a customer, which is amazing. Didn't do the LLC, didn't do the business bank account, didn't do a logo. That stuff doesn't matter quite as much as just getting the business started, talking with customers and getting customers. Okay, so this other brother, he is very interested in cars, and he's also a full-time student right now. And he's also been thinking about starting a business for the last 3, 4, 5 months and just hasn't pulled the trigger, hasn't found the right business, whatever it may be. And because we're just working for 20 hours straight and he wanted to do something outside of what he was doing at school, he decided, all right, I guess I will start a business. And he loves cars. He's always loved cars and might be interested in one day owning car dealerships, and was also thinking, that's a capital intensive business. How can I get involved? And thought of auto detailing. And so he decided it took us a few hours to get there, but he decided to start an auto detailing business. And he's going to do all of the jobs on Saturdays, and hopefully he'll be able to find some other people that he can then hire out and actually run a business and not just a solo business. But if he's able to get 4 or 5 jobs on Saturdays, he can make, $1,000 every week, which to a college student is a lot of money. And he was able to choose a name. Goliath Detailing is what he's going with. I thought it was a great name. And he did make a sweet logo with AI because it was fun. And then he put out a post, and I believe he messaged some people. He figured out what was required to detail a car, watched a bunch of YouTube videos, figured out all the equipment he needed, bought all of the equipment, $550 investment or so, and is now feeling very committed because he put some dollars into this. And he landed at least 3 customers. Might be more. I think there were some that were kind of on the line, but somewhere between 3 and 5 customers. And from one Saturday, starting the business to the next, he'll be fulfilling for customers and make all of his money back in one day. And then from there, he'll be able to, he's starting with a slightly lower price and then going to raise rates over time. And just amazing. And then I was able to I did several things. I wrote a few pieces of different content that were very high quality for my business. I went through and looked at all of my costs and did a big cost cutting exercise. I am working potentially on something new and spent a lot of time thinking that through. It wasn't execution mode. It was more of the brainstorming, figuring out what makes sense. And I was able to help them a lot. So for all 3 of us, big win, a ton of fun. Additionally, we played pickleball, we climbed a mountain, we played Settlers of Catan, we watched 2 movies, we sat in the hot tub, and we got, I would say it was a little bit less than 20 hours, but maybe 15 hours of focused work done and made some serious progress with our lives. So very, very exciting. And like I said, we did the important stuff, the business bank account, the LLC, all of that could come later. And so what is the takeaway for you and for me going forward? This is what I got away. Maybe you'll get something else away from this, but this is what I got from it, which is in one weekend, you can learn a new skill, you can start a business, you can launch a new product, you can build out an entire marketing campaign, you can build out an entire funnel, you could build a site for your company, whatever the thing may be, it only needs to take 20 hours. It doesn't have to be some huge, like you don't have to drag it out for months when you can get it done in one weekend. A Friday, 10 hours, a Saturday, 10 hours. And so this is inspiring for me, and it might become some type of ritual where every time I launch a new product, or if I ever start a new business, or am doing something like want to learn a new skill, if I decide, all right, Facebook ad buying, I'm going to learn it this weekend, and just spend 20 hours and come away just a completely new person, transformed. And so this is very empowering for me, and I hope it's empowering for you, and hope this was helpful.